Just confirming with everyone, you are seeing the screen that's named Hofstra Basketball, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Don't chat amongst yourselves because you are now live on YouTube. Hello, everyone. We'll be joined momentarily by Hofstra acting head coach Mike Fairley. Please use the raise your hand feature in the Zoom if you have a question, and I will call on you, and please announce yourself and your outlet once I call on you. Coach Fairley, if you could offer an opening statement about today's game, please.
Okay. Just like to start, you can't play Iona as a Hofstra team without thinking of Coach Kloos. So, Hofstra grad, certainly a fantastic coach. We'd like to send our best and well wishes to him from our program. Second, want to thank Coach Patino for obviously bringing Iona over today. It's hard to find games where it's just a blessing to play games in the environment that we're in, with everything that we're going through. So, we have to take advantage of these opportunities when we do get the chance to play, given the uncertainty of what we're going through. I don't think we necessarily did that today. Taking advantage of the opportunity the right way, playing with the right energy, the right amount of toughness. Certainly much credit to Iona because I think they did bring that, played very physically. I don't think we were able to match their physicality. Really did a good job on the offensive glass, got a lot of second chance points, which we knew coming in was one of the things that they wanted to do, but we didn't do a great job on the glass, cleaning some stuff up that way. And then I didn't like our energy overall. Just, when we needed to rally, don't think we had that in us the way that, sometimes when we got down at Rutgers, we had some good energy to rally. When we got down at the half to FDU the other day, we had some good energy to rally. So didn't have that today. And I certainly let a lot of people down with this loss too. So a lot of it's on me, and I got to keep getting better here.
Our first question will be from Jermaine. Jermaine, please unmute yourself and announce yourself and your outlet. Thank you.
Coach, how you doing? I'm Jermaine Howerton. I'm the men's basketball beat reporter. Tough game, but you guys fought all the way through. You talk about how rebounding was something you guys lost that in 43-31, 13-6 in the offensive rebounding category, 33 points from Ross and a double-double from their guy, Junior. What do you attribute the loss to most? Would it still be that intensity aspect? Would it be Ross having that great game? What was it?
Well, Ross is a really good player and certainly was a target on our scouting report. We know how good he is. He was one of the known quantities from their roster with the success that he had last year and had a great night the other night against Seton Hall. So we certainly did a good job containing him. But even with him making those shots, I would look down to it and say it was 20 to 13 points off of turnovers. So we did a good job creating turnovers in the first half, not nearly as good in the second half. So there was a gap there that they were +7, and then they were +12, 19-7 in second chance points. So the 13 offensive rebounds, Jermaine, that you referenced, I think that is a bigger key and something that hurt more because that was a focus going in. We know they send 3 guys to the glass. They go to the glass really hard. And I think there was some times, in our zone, there's some times where you can get caught in between a guy or a bump or a slide, and maybe you're not matched up with someone. But I think there was just some easy offensive rebounds that we gave up that they were just tougher than us. They just wanted the ball more. So losing both of those, the points off of turnovers by 7 and the second chance points by 12, it's a 19-point margin. Kind of hard to make that up, unless you're really, really shooting the ball well, which we're unfortunately not right now.
Next question will be from Roger Rubin. You can unmute yourself, Roger.
Hey, Mike. Roger Rubin from Newsday. Mike, the slow start for you guys in the first half, is it hard to get used to going up against a team that plays that Patino style, end-to-end defense, lots of threes?
A little bit, Roger. I wouldn't, we were prepared with pressure from playing Rutgers, even for we were scheduled to play Monmouth opening game. And so we've been preparing for pressure a lot. Their pressure is continuous. It's 40 minutes. That's why we love this game because, it's going to get us ready for UNC Wilmington in our league, who's certainly going to be a pressing team. So that's why it's a great opportunity for us to learn to grow. Is it hard? I don't necessarily think so. If you play with boys and you play with some toughness, I don't think we handled it. I think we had a couple of really bad inbounds passes to a couple of bad spots. That's definitely a coaching mistake in terms of getting guys in the right spots, telling them where to go. And that's on my shoulders for what we should be doing to break that press. But I don't necessarily think it's hard, Roger, if you're prepared for it. It's just, can you maintain it for 40 minutes because they try to wear you down? So can you do that and handle it make those right choices against the press the entire game?
And if I could just ask a follow-up about Ross, what is it about his game that is so difficult to halt?
So first and foremost, really good shooter. 40% for three last year, made a bunch of threes the other night. So anytime you're playing against that, and from the other team's perspective, they're saying any good shooter is going to say, oh, well, they play zone. I'm going to have a great night. And we try to do some things where we highlight certain guys, and Ross was the one tonight that, hey, he's the guy that we're not supposed to allow catch and shoot threes to. So even for him to make 6 threes, there's only certain things you can do. I thought he had a couple of really good contests that he made. Caleb had a really good contest on him that he made. Maybe Kayvon had one too. But him taking 12 threes is the bigger issue. That's what we try to limit. We try to limit those threes. Maybe if he takes 8 of those instead of 12, how different is the game, right? So you can't limit, and a great shooter like that, how much are you going to affect? But can you limit the amount that he's going to take? I think that's more of a focus.
Our next question. Oh, thank you, Roger. Our next question is from Andrew. Andrew, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Coach. Andrew Botchgalupo, WRHU. Coach, it seemed like at points in the game, Iona was really starting to, dissect and break down that zone defense. What can you say about that offense, and how can you guys defensively adjust for your next game?
Yeah, so the one thing was, they've only played one game, right? And obviously they, new coach and a new program, not exactly sure what they're going to run against it, right? We were going back and watching – please forgive me if I say it incorrectly, but Panathinaikos that he coached that last year. We were watching clips from over in Greece. We were watching, I have the Syracuse-Louisville game from whatever it is, 3 or 4 years ago with Donovan Mitchell in there for Louisville. That's what we were trying to break down. We're going back in the archives to figure out what they wanted to do. And a lot of the ball screens and double ball screens were stuff that we were prepared for. It was some stuff where they were throwing the ball in the high post and cutting some guys from different angles. That was the stuff that maybe we weren't as prepared for, hadn't seen that as much in our preparation, but it's really hard. And we told the guys that we're going to prepare for what we think is going to happen, but we have to play to our principles because we have to be ready for anything. And that's the case with anybody we play. I think we were prepared as best we could be given the circumstances. I don't think we reacted necessarily in great ways based on how we play the zone and our standards that we have for ourselves in that zone.
Our next question is from John Wagner. Go ahead, John, and unmute yourself.
Hey, Coach. You guys struggled earlier in the game. Got down 9, taking a lot of threes. I believe you were 3 for 18 to start the game. I think 11 of those were threes. You got back into the game by attacking, getting the foul line, getting a lot of twos, getting layups, mid-range jumpers, things like that. Is that something that you think, not that you guys can't shoot the 3, but maybe picking spots and maybe just shot selection with the 3 that you'd like to see the team have a little bit more patience with?
Yeah, I don't know if I have any issues with our shot selection. We're certainly not making shots right now. And driving the ball is better when you're in the double bonus and getting to the free throw line a lot. Mid-range jumpers we don't have anybody great at that shot. Justin Ray Foreman was great. He was elite. He was a 48% mid-range shooter. We don't necessarily have anybody like that we feel like, hey, let's just get this guy a bunch of mid-range shots and that's going to help us score. Typically we're going to shoot mid-range at 35 to 40%, not a high percentage play, not an effective play. Threes. Look, we're going to take these shots. We're going to continue to, Omar had some good looks. Omar didn't make shots tonight. He throws in a 3 or 2. It's a different game. David Green's a great shooter. He's going to make shots for us as well. Other guys are going to throw in shots, right? So we're going to stick with it. We're going to just take good shots. I didn't have any issues with our shot selection or thinking, did we need to attack? Yes. Against how physical they were, getting in the double bonus early. Yes, that was a really good thing. But no issues with our shot selection.
Our next question is from David. David, go ahead and unmute yourself.
David Lazar, the Hofstra Chronicle. Coach, you do such a great job with scouting reports and preparing for games. This was a unique game. You have a Hall of Famer on the other side. How does your preparation change, or does it not change when you're looking at such a great coach on the other team?
No, it doesn't really change at all. Again, like I said earlier, it was a little bit harder because we had one game of theirs, with the current personnel, obviously a ton of new players. So we had to dig back in the archives. Our preparation is really good. We hold ourselves to a high standard with the way that we prepare, going back and looking at games from 3, 4, 5 years ago to try to get ideas. So we're going to try to do a great job. I feel like it's always an issue of ours that we try to give these guys the answers to the test and say, hey, this is going to happen. And just if you do this, if you guard A to B to C to D, we're going to stop them. But at the end of the day, you're going to take away the actions, and then you have to finish possessions. When it just freelance stuff comes, or it's just a random ball screen or a cutter like it was today a lot of times, are you playing to your principles the right way? So, again, we're going to prepare them. And, again, we almost get to the point where we try to spoon feed these guys too much. And I don't want the message to be misconstrued to them of saying like, hey, if you just do this, it's going to be easy. It's not easy. It's not at all. Taking away the first action might be easy, A to B to C, but then after that, you got to sit down and play defense. You got to play to your principles. And I think that's where we struggled a little bit more tonight.
Andrew, question. Go ahead.
Yes, Andrew Murdillo here for WRHU. Coach, what's something that you and your team now take away from a game like this?
I think playing with toughness, matching their toughness. We're hopefully exceeding it, playing with energy. And again, I've talked about this a couple times. When there's no fans, you have to create your own energy. In the 20 to 25 of us, on that sideline, it's got to be about us in those situations versus having the crowd that can kind of pick you up here, right? We miss playing in front of this great crowd, but we're not going to have them all year, likely. So, we have to make our own energy. So I think playing with toughness, this game honors toughness. And we got to play the right way all the time. A little bit more of a sense of urgency. There's some late shot clock plays that I think we need to do a better job of. And then being able to play physically and then handle physicality when you're playing a team like that. I just think they were a little bit tougher than us, and I think they had a little bit better energy. And a lot of that comes back to me, being able to make sure I'm setting the tone the right way.
Our next question is from Jaden. Jaden, please unmute yourself and announce your outlet as well.
Hi, Mike. Jaden Daly, Daily Dose of Hoops. How are you?
Can't hear.
Mike, Jaden Daly, Daily Dose of Hoops. Can you hear me now?
I'll repeat it for you. Go ahead, Jaden.
Okay, Mike, what can you say about Kayvon Kramer and the development that he's shown in the first 3 games, coming back from his injury? He had another great outing off the bench. What does he bring to this team that wasn't there a year ago? And how much did the year last season redshirt help him out in learning the system and learning what you guys demand?
Gotcha. So just about Kayvon. Obviously he's been really good. Stunk that he got in foul trouble early tonight and got out of the flow in the first half. Had a really good second half, really up and active. He's got to stay getting those free throws up. That's something we got to stay on with him because he's going to get fouled so much because he's so active. But love the way that he's playing right now. Love the energy that he's bringing. He's relentless. The year off was huge for him to be just getting back to playing competitive basketball, getting back to playing 5-on-5, from learning our system. I think you see the difference with him compared to our other freshmen because he's so much more acclimated. He had a full summer of workouts. He went through an entire year. Now he's coming back in the fall, understanding, the expectations of the program, the offense, the defense, all of those. Versus other new guys who kind of missed out on all that stuff and really just started getting going, playing 5-on-5 live on October 16th, so they're still 6 or 7 weeks in. And that's where we have to keep continuing to help the new guys. I think that's really where you can see it, how different Kayvon is than the other newcomers because of that year of seasoning. But Kayvon's been tremendous, great energy, and he's going to need to improve a little bit defensively too. He had some mistakes on that end, but the energy that he brings something unique to our team and has a really bright future.
Thank you, Mike. And we'll be joined momentarily by Tariq Coburn. Thank you.
Excellent.
We are now joined by Hofstra senior Tariq Coburn following his 28-point career-high outing today. Tariq, just give your overall thoughts on your outing in today's game, please.
Well, I think it starts with toughness. I don't know if everybody was on the same page today, but we got outpunked from the beginning. I feel like they threw the first punch at us, and we were just falling back and trying to play catch up after that. Second half, I think we started off all right, and then had a couple of turnovers, 7 turnovers second half. They had a lot of bunch of turnovers, and we supposed to limit a lot of their second chance shots too.
If you have a question for Tariq, please use the raise your hand feature in the Zoom, and I will call on you. Our first question is Jermaine. Jermaine, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
All right, Tariq, good game, man. Congrats on the career high. I just want to get some knowledge on this. So how do you play your game? Do you go inside out first and then go outside, or do you start outside and make the defense respect that 3 ball so then that can open that inside game for you to where you can get to the line?
I mean, there's no real way how I play. I have kind of an awkward game. Whatever the defense gives me, that's what I take. I'm not just one-dimensional. I can do all types of scoring. I score all 3 levels, I feel like. But compared to last year, it was like a lot of mainly threes. That was my role. But new roles this year, so try to go more to the baskets, whatever makes us win.
Is there a player that you model your game after?
Some people compare me to Danny Green a little bit, which is more athletic. Just put the ball on the floor a little bit more.
Our
Same
next,
size.
sorry,
same
Tariq.
size. Yeah.
Our next question is from John Wagner.
Hey, Tariq, congratulations on a good game today on the career high. It comes off of a strong game for you last game as well, especially in the second half last game and the win on Monday night. Is it a different mentality for you this year? You know, maybe last year you might have considered yourself, and the previous year more of a complimentary type of scorer, complimentary player. This year, you know, like today and even maybe last game, that you might be called to be the number 1 option on this team this year. Is it kind of a different mentality for you in that sense this year?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a different mentality. We had 2 really good scorers, good leaders that left the team. We had, it was for our starters. We had all of us was like top 25 in the conference. So at any given night, all of us could give 20 points plus. So with those 2 scorers gone, you know, there's new roles, new positions, new spots to fill up, and my game just expanded on whatever it takes for our team to win.
Our next question is from Roger Rubin. Go ahead, Roger.
Hey, it's Roger Rubin from Newsday. Tell us a little bit about what it's like to go against a team that's playing that style.
Just gotta give it everything from the jump. Like I said, it's toughness. The team is gonna try to be all up in you. The ball, you gotta be strong with the ball. Gotta have heart. If they're bigger or stronger, you doesn't matter. You just gotta box out, which we failed to do in the beginning, and you gotta be strong with the ball. Limit our turnovers.
Second question, if it's okay, Stephen.
Go ahead.
As far as defending a guy like Ross, you know, one of the things that your coach said was that was going to be a focus for you guys, and yet he got off a dozen 3-pointers. What is it that's hard about guarding him, or do you think that somewhere you guys didn't quite do what you were supposed to?
I don't think it's like a one-on-one, like none of our players could guard him, but more of a sense in the zone. I guess when we have 2-on-1 on the side and you're like bumping back and you're trying to stunt and fake back, I guess he has that like window of shot of opportunities. But when you get a guy like that going, it's kind of tough. So I guess we failed to like set the tone early for him. But it's all right. It's all right. We're a learning team. We're a new team. Everybody's gonna get on the same page. We're gonna be good.
Our next question is from David. David, go ahead.
David Lazar, Hofstra Chronicle. Tariq, you are a very physical player. You've mentioned toughness a lot. The zone today was working at some points, not working at others. What were your thoughts on how your zone played, and what lessons can you take towards the future?
Yeah, I think today was probably our worst day on defense in our zone. I guess we have to study more film to figure out what are the situations we could have did better. But I felt like they had a lot of like the 2-on-1s and we had bad rotations on ourselves. But it's a collective thing. It can't be 3 guys playing defense and 2 guys, you know, not playing defense. It has to be, everybody has to be collective, because our zone is it's like a matchup zone. Everybody has to be on the same page and talking. We didn't really talk out there, I feel like, enough. And then, like I said, the rebound, second chance shots coming out of when you're playing a zone, it's kind of hard to rebound the ball. So you really have to like key on that.
Our next question is from Jaden Daly. Go ahead, Jaden.
Yeah, Tariq, you mentioned that this is a new team, and with DeJour and
Sorry, I
Iona
can't hear
having
you.
graduated. What can
I'll
you
repeat
say
it for you.
about how this has gone for the first 3 games, and how much this team has improved, and what more you need to work on?
What more do you guys need to work on with the changes from last year's team with the new guys and everything?
I guess more leadership, just setting the tones for our new guys, letting them know how Hofstra plays, our culture. That's the number one thing. We're a team that doesn't like to lose. You gotta make sure everybody knows that when we lose, I think that's serious. We watch film, try ways to prepare and get better for the next game, and that's what we're gonna do.
Our final question is from Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Tariq, this is Andrew Rodillo from WRHU. I just want to know how, after a game like this, you brush it off and then you prepare for that next upcoming game against Stony Brook.
We say it again. How do you brush it off?
How do you put a game like this behind you and get prepared for the next one?
Simple. We just gotta watch film, stay together, no pointing fingers at each other. If anything, point finger at me. I missed some free throws today, and just staying together for moving forward. So, right, one game. This game right here will probably teach us down the road to how to defend better, how to play better collectively, limit our ball turnovers, and things of that nature.
Thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, Tariq. Hofstra's next in action again on Wednesday, December 9th against Stony Brook. Thank you all for joining us.
Thanks, guys.